are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is May 7th, 2026. Just woke up about an hour, 15 minutes ago. It's my day off, so most likely there will be several podcasts put out today. Did some dishes, fixed some tacos. I haven't eaten any yet, but I can't eat straight out of bed. I don't know about how you all are, but personally, when I wake up, I need a couple cups of coffee, you know. Did you all hear it all? My buddy's texting me, the QAnon guy that I work with. I've talked about him here and there in passing. He sent me a picture. I guess there's on the aliens.gov website, which we've covered on the channel before. Go check out that episode. It's in the alien disclosure playlist on YouTube if you're a subscriber on there. Apparently there's a documentary coming out tomorrow. It says Day of Disclosure. He texted me, he's like, Disclosure Day is tomorrow, and I'm like, I thought he was talking about the Spielberg movie. I was like, oh, cool, it's coming out tomorrow. I'll make sure to go to the theaters next week or something, you know, because I do want to see it and review it for the Conspiracy Cinema series. But I love my friend to death, but he is known to put out fake news a lot. He's a QAnon guy. So I'm curious if you all have seen anything like that. Are they doing like disclosure shit tomorrow? I don't know. So I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, you get two things. Get a bumper sticker. Conspiracy Corner Podcast bumper sticker. These things are durable as fuck. My wife has one on her coffee mug. The thing's been washed 1,000 times and still holds up. And you will also get a bookmark. I will sign it, unless you don't want me to, but you can message me through Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, let's get on with the show. So, I always like to give a little spiel. I used to be pretty cutthroat on this channel when I was younger. The older I have gotten, I've chilled out a little more. I used to be definitely a little more Alex Jones back in the day. I've kind of chilled out. I don't like to celebrate people's deaths. Now, if you would have listened to my old shit, you know, like when someone dies, I'd be like, hell yeah, you know. As far as like the elites, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, you know, the Elites. So I'm not going to be sitting here celebrating. I did a eulogy, a little episode on Dick Cheney dying. What was it? 2 years ago? I think it was probably 2 years ago now, maybe last year. I just don't celebrate the dead anymore. Even if they are a piece of garbage. But I am going to be straight up and speak about them, and just be quite frank about my thoughts on them and everything else. So, I had never really heard of Ted Turner until probably around 2014, 15-ish. I started getting into, so I was always kind of raised in a conspiracy family. Um, as far as like my dad would talk about JFK, paranormal, ufology, shit like that. I didn't really get super big into conspiracy until a divorce with my ex-wife. Uh, Me and her throughout our entire marriage, really, we didn't even have internet. So like any conspiracy stuff was like books, shit like that. Whatever I was getting book wise, or just talking to other conspiracy theorists. We didn't even have TV either. We had antenna TV that would barely come in. Most of the time we'd just watch DVDs and VHS of movies and shit. But I moved into an apartment and my neighbor let me use her Wi-Fi, and I started delving into conspiracies like super deep, you know. And this was back when there was a little more freedom on YouTube and shit. Back when it was more like the Wild West. And I came across Ted Turner, the founder of CNN. And I started watching these little documentaries on him on how much of a garbage person he was, as far as like believing in like climate change. Back then we called it like global warming. He would just buy up all this property for bison and stuff. He was the type of guy who has like 1 billion kids but tells you that there's too many people on the earth and you shouldn't have children. Just a dude who was super pro into like the Great Reset. Ted Turner has passed away. So let's delve into it, because I'm not sure. Like I said, I always like to go in with virgin eyes and ears and hear it with you. This was May 6th, so yesterday, 2026. I didn't find out till I got to work. Otherwise, I would have reported on it yesterday. And not many people are reporting on it in the truth community. So if you found out from here, you know, give the video a like and a thumbs up. So Ted Turner, Atlanta's maverick media and sports icon, has died at 87. You guys know my thoughts on sports. I did a whole episode on it. Probably the only sports related episode I will ever do. Go check it out. It's called Bread and Circuses. I think you can kind of figure out from the title, but I go into a whole spiel about sports and my thoughts on sports. It's called Bread and Circuses. If you're listening on Spotify, I will link it in related episodes below. Yeah, so this guy is definitely the emperor who is like, give them bread and circuses, you know. They think of us as goy, you know. So, and also the creator of CNN, which is fake news, Operation Mockingbird. And don't get me wrong, Fox News is by far no better than CNN. It's all owned by CNN, and Fox News are owned by the same guy. Like, a lot of people don't even know that. Anything mainstream media is just garbage as far as like news. Like, I get my news from independent journalists. Once in a blue moon, if I'm just covering something kind of blue pill, like true crime or something, I will get from like local news sites. But even those are, they have their higher ups and shit, you know. So Robert Edward Ted Turner III, the creator of CNN, and a television pioneer and entrepreneur, philanthropist, and environmentalist, has died at 87. So there's nothing wrong with actual philanthropy and actual environmentalism, but these people have a dystopian, inverted version of Gaia worship. Like, I'm a Gaia worshiper. I believe Mother Earth should be taken care of. Mother Earth, you should take care of it like you would your mother. But that doesn't mean that we should have like environmental lockdowns. we shouldn't be allowed to drive gas cars, you know. The world still needs to function. They want a dystopia. I want a utopia. And philanthropists, the biggest philanthropists are always the ones who are the shadiest, like Bill Gates. Jeffrey Epstein was a philanthropist, you know. Anytime I see philanthropist, I go, oh, this person's probably a piece of shit. Turner died peacefully on Wednesday, surrounded by his family, according to a Turner Enterprises spokesperson. Well, of course. He began his business career as a billboard salesman, eventually revolutionizing how Americans and the world consume news. He was a consummate salesman who also wanted to eliminate nuclear weapons. I'm cool with that. If nuclear weapons are even real. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of lean towards the side of, I don't even know if these fucking things are real. I believe in, like, bombs, like fire bombs, you know. But nuclear weapons, I don't know. Watch those nuclear weapon testing videos and tell me if you think those are real. When I was younger, I used to look at them and go, oh my god, that's amazing. Now I look at them and go, that looks like a Hot Wheel in like a little Barbie dollhouse that's getting blown up. Just saying. So right there it tells you he started off as a billboard designer. So propaganda, commercials. He knew. Read the book. I think it was Edward Bernays. The book is literally called Propaganda, and it gets into like commercials and shit like that, you know. And usually, sadly, there's nothing wrong with commercials. I mean, I do a little plug for my shit every day, but I'm not over here doing subliminal lights and messages and. Well, I do have some lights, but that's literally my TV going. Ted Turner was born in Cincinnati and grew up in Savannah. He was close with his father, who had served in the military and was an entrepreneur, and who has an inspiration to him beginning at a young age. It's always military background. I have a lot of family who are military. Neither one of my parents served. My dad was too much of an outlaw, and my mom was too much of a prissy girl, a Barbie doll. But you'll see this a lot, especially with like Laurel Canyon kids, like Grateful Dead, The Doors. Their parents are always military, and I just find that interesting. It's just odd. Like, Jim Morrison's dad pulled off the Gulf of Tonkin. Most people don't even know that. And that was, like, one of the first false flags of the United States. Like, one of, you know. One of many. In a 1999 interview with the Television Academy, Turner said that he knew early on that he wanted to do something with his life. Or were you chosen to do something with your life? At first, he chose sailing because he thought it was something he could excel at, even without natural athleticism. I ain't gonna lie, that actually sounds pretty dope. And I mean, if you got like Illuminati parents, I could see the whole, Dad, can't I just be a sailor? I just want to adventure, you know? I want to be Link on Wind Waker. Especially if you got rich parents that can afford you to just go off sailing. I do have to say that, man. I'm jealous with these, like, elite families. Their kids get to do, like, the most coolest shit. Like, yeah, and when I was 13, I spent a year in a Buddhist monastery in China. And then I went and lived in Haiti and was kidnapped by pirates. And it's like, they always have these amazing, like, Paul Bunyan stories, you know? And here I am, like, yeah, I mowed the lawn on weekends and went to a normal public school. And things I had, which was tenacity and the ability to stick with it, and intelligence were things that was premium on those qualities, he said during the interview. So the dude's bragging about how smart he is. I'm so intelligent. If you've ever watched an interview with Ted Turner too, he's like a hick in a suit, dude. I've never listened or watched a Ted Turner interview and thought, man, this guy's smart, intelligent as fuck, you know. He just seems like a redneck, you know. He eventually won the America's Cup in 1977 and a harrowing ocean race in 1979 in which he and his crew had been feared dead after hitting terrible weather. I'm telling you, Sam Tripoli says it all the time. These elites always have this Paul Bunyan story. What was it? JFK swam like 3 miles after his plane was shot down. Or was it George Bush? Or did they both have a similar story? I can't recall. Yeah, George Bush was fighting the Nazis and his plane went down, and him and his buddy, he had his buddy on his back and he swam for 5 miles, dodging sharks, and you know what I mean? They always have this like Paul Bunyan story. I don't even think half these stories are even fucking real. Turner's belief in his intelligence and tenacity, his desire to do something big, and his inspiration from his father were recurring themes in his life. When he was in his early 20s, his father died of suicide. Dun dun dun. Was it though? Or, you know how it is with the elites, man. A lot of people just mysteriously die of suicide. 2 gunshots to the back of the head, and he hung himself, you know. Weird, shady shit like that. I'd like to look into his father's suicide if I ever had the time to see if there was any shadiness there. Turner took over the family billboard business. He said that he turned the company around and it started making money again. He eventually bought radio and TV stations, including Channel 17 in Atlanta. So there he goes into infiltrating the airwaves, the radio waves. Already, here we go. Let's start taking control of the narrative. Operation Mockingbird. It was just this place that had this vibe about it. That something was happening there, said Bill Tush. Tush? Who was an early hire there. Your last name's Tush. Bill Butt. We never knew what it was, but it was always good. Oh yeah, I'm sure he had an awesome vibe. I mean, the guy created CNN, one of the most toxic news stations out there. I mean, the only one more toxic than CNN, I would say, would be like the Young Turks, you know. Turner took advantage of new cable and satellite technology to turn the fly-by-night operation into nationwide TBS superstation. Tush, who went on to work as an anchor both there and at CNN, and with Turner for 30 years, said TBS was fun. From the top down, it was just fun. That's the only way to put it, he said. Ted's big line was always, you don't work for me, you work with me. I remember calling him the boss one time, and he's like, I'm not the boss. We're all in this together. I wonder if he originated that. We're all in this together. Remember during COVID? We're all in this together. Come to think of it, CNN was like the one pushing that we're all in this together shit. That brainwashing shit. Of like, okay, then why is this like the most toxic shit of like, if I don't take a vaccine, like, you guys like literally think I'm killing your children. Like, what's going on here? I thought we were all in this together. That's not what we mean. I wonder if they took this one phrase and was like, that's a good one. We'll use Ted Turner's phrase, you know. TBS broadcast TV reruns and movies. The channel broadcast Braves games around the country, even before Turner owned the team. Turner told the Television Academy that he figured that in places where there was no baseball team, people would tune in just to see any baseball or to see the Braves play better teams. And he thought that maybe some of these people would become Braves fans. Baseball, by the way. I personally love baseball. I've been to a couple games. I like playing catch during the summer. Me and Sammy, we have 2 mitts and a ball, and I could sit there and play catch for hours. My dad was huge on playing catch. that was one of those rare moments that me and my dad did a lot of bonding time. Like, we would start playing catch, like, after school. And I kid you not, like, if my dad was off or whatever, like, we would literally play catch. I'm talking for, like, 3 or 4 hours, just sitting there for 3 or 4 hours, throwing it back and forth. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's like one of those few things that bring me, like, zen, you know. Your brain shuts off, you just kind of talk, you know, have fun. Baseball, though, is a very Masonic game. We're going to do a whole deep dive on Freemasonry and baseball. It's literally a Freemasonic ritual. The actual game of baseball, not catch, but the actual game of baseball. We're going to do a whole episode on it one day. So it doesn't surprise me that he would focus on baseball. It is funny, too. My buddy, he went to a restaurant, and he was so excited about it. And I wasn't trying to burst his bubble. It was actually the buddy I was talking about at the beginning of this podcast. He went to one of Ted Turner's restaurants, and he's like, oh, dude, he just got back from vacation. He's like, I got to try bison steak for the first time. Which bison steak, if you've never had it, it's different than, like, regular cow. It's fucking good. I love bison. It's expensive, but it's good. And he's like, yeah, I went to Ted Turner's restaurant. We had bison. And I went, ugh. And he went, what? He's like, you don't like bison? I'm like, no, I love bison. I was like, you went to Ted Turner's restaurant? And he's like, yeah, what's wrong with Ted Turner? I'm like, dude, he's like one of the Illuminati, bro. It's like he created CNN. He was like one of those people who said there's too many people on the earth, you know, like we need to live in a dystopian great reset. He's all pro 2030 agenda and shit. He's like, I didn't know all that. I'm like, how do you not know all this? Aren't you like a conspiracy theorist? And he's like, oh man, that bums me out. I'm like, don't let it bum you out. You still had a good vacation. The steak was still good. I was like, don't let it bum you out. Just know who you're giving your money to, dude. Like, do your research, bro. I remember the first meeting when we first signed the contract. He stood up on a coffee table and started waving his arms and singing, You Gotta Have Heart from Damn Yankees Broadway Show, said Bob Hope. I don't know that song. He's singing a Broadway show, like, okay. Imagine, like, when I had 10,000 streams and downloads, that milestone I reached the other day. What if I had stood up on the bed and started singing Rent, you know? One blaze of glory. What would you guys think? Would you love it? Start singing, like, fucking, I don't know, some Broadway shit. Little Gay, who was a marketing executive for the Braves at the time and continued working for Turner. I thought, well, this guy's different, but a lot of what he said was very wise. He's a sage. Turner bought the Braves in 1976. Hope said he wasn't much piece of hair. He wasn't much motivated by the love of baseball. Instead, Turner saw it as a way to secure his rights to air the games on TBS. And money. Let's just be quite frank. Money. You know. And, like I said, bread and circus. Dumb down the populations. Distract them. The dude had his foot in news, in journalism. So, what's the best way to distract people from what's really going on? First of all, push out fake news. Second off, bread and circus, you know. Bread and circus. There's a beautiful speech that Bill Cooper did on his thoughts on sports. Go check it out on YouTube. He tears into sports fans, and he's not wrong, you know. But Turner leaned, and by the way, if you like sports, that's cool, but everything in moderation. Like, it drives me nuts. I used to bartend, man. I bartended for 8 years, and I'll never forget, like, my biggest struggle with customers was you would get these guys who come in there and pound, like, 4 beers after work and drive home. And that's all they talked was sports. They were obsessed with sports. Who's your favorite team? You know, are you going to watch that UK game tomorrow? And sometimes, like, I would have to bullshit and just lie through my teeth and just answer carefully. A whole lot of agreeing and just listening. But sometimes, man, it was just the hardest fucking thing because that's all they would talk about. It was their entire personality was basketball, UK basketball, or whatever. And it's like, bro, is there anything else in life you like? Like maybe going hiking, taking a walk, a movie? Can we talk a movie? Do you read? Can we read a book? Yeah, I read. I just read Babe Ruth's autobiography. Oh my God, is everything sports? Like, it drives me nuts, dude. I get it, like being passionate about something, but like video games. I do a shit ton of video game reviews on this channel. But that's not the only thing I talk about. I'm not a gaming channel, you know. Conspiracies. I love conspiracies. But that's not my entire personality. Sometimes I have blue pill episodes, you know. There's other shit in life, dude, besides sports. I don't fucking get it. And the elites use this shit. So, but Turner leaned into his ownership. He and Hope would come up with stunts once Turner pushed a baseball around the bases with his nose. Okay, that actually is pretty fucking funny. He had his own uniform, his own locker, Hope said. He'd take showers with the team. Right there's some weird Illuminati shit. He had his own uniform, his own locker, Hope said. He'd take showers with the team. And imagine how casually he's just saying that. So Ted Turner is in there butt naked, taking showers with the baseball teams. I've never understood the whole showering together. This is like a multi-million-dollar corporation, and it blows my mind that it still happens to this day. Doug Stanhope has an awesome fucking set on sports superstars showering together. He's like, this is your job. And I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm not going to obviously put it out as beautifully as Doug Stanhope. Go check out that set. This is your job. Imagine, like, I work at Kroger. Imagine if I went to Kroger and, like, we all worked our shift and then we all went, all right, boys, let's hit the showers. And we all started smacking each other's butts and getting naked and all taking a shower together. Like, no, I think I'm going to go home and take a bath. Like, what's wrong, Abe? You got a little dick? That would never be acceptable in any other workplace, but for some reason, like in sports, they all take showers together. It's so fucking weird. And you would think with multi-million-dollar corporation that they would have like separate showers. You could afford that. I don't get it. It's the weirdest fucking thing. I think it's a ritual, dude. I think it's some like weird ritual that goes back to like ancient Greece of like homosexual shit. Because you guys know, like, I mean, we've covered secret societies a billion fucking times on this channel. There's always, like, these gay rituals that they make you do. And, like, almost every one of these secret societies, there's, like, homosexual rituals. It's so, I don't get it. It's so weird. And I'm not homophobic, man. You guys know me. I'm a weirdo with my sexuality. But, like, I don't, it's just weird. I always thought it was weird as a kid, man. Being in the locker room and changing in front of people. I'm like, why can't I go to the bathroom and change? You know, why do I have to do it in front of all these other dudes? It's just fucking, it's gay. So he'd take showers with the team. Imagine your boss coming in and taking a bath with you. He's not even playing the game. That to me is just red flag. There was a lot of craziness involved, but he enjoyed it. He was there. He enjoyed the attention, you know. Ted is like a carnival barker. The royal jester. He and Jane Fonda, both each other's third spouses, were regulars at games. Right there. if you're on your third marriage, maybe they're not the problem, but maybe you're the problem. Just saying. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up there, though. Ted Turner died. I wanted to give my 2 cents on it, my thoughts on it. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to hear any of the other deaths within the past year or last year, maybe you missed one or two, I've actually covered deaths quite a few times on this channel. It's under the eulogies playlist on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. It helps bump me up the algorithm on YouTube. You get 3 hypes a week. I personally save mine for smaller content creators who need the help and don't really spend it on the bigger ones because it's like they're already up there. They don't need the help. Yeah, and if you're on Spotify, answer the polls because I like to read them off every now and then. Plus, it helps with engagement. Love y'all. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on Ted Turner passing. Y'all have a good day.